And we are live. What's going on tonight, gentlemen? And I think there's a lady somewhere hiding in here. Don't tell Matt, but I think there is. So what's going on, guys?
My God.
Oh, it's time.
It is
It's
time.
Thursday, and you know what that means.
It's Tubecast night. Thanks, JR.
Ridiculous.
I've taken precautions, so if we swear too much, I'll just make sure to drop one of those.
Damn.
I thought that was just my tinnitus.
It's all those chair shots really pay off after time. Oh no! Thanks, YouTube.
What are you doing?
I had the sound effect on YouTube, and it went to the next video because YouTube's a dick.
They're ridiculous.
They are ridiculous. Give us money anyways, you cheap bastard.
So, guys, this is the September cycle review.
Oh, is it? Oh man,
It is September 2021 cycle review. We're going to review this cycle's trash talk. We already did results in our last Tubecast, so you guys get 2 Tubecasts a cycle. So that's nice. That's a nice little treat for everyone. That's cool.
Sure is. Do you want to break the breaking news?
No, I want to tell who's here. I'm your host, Alex G, and with me this evening we have IWAR Commissioner Matt Riley. We have our good friend Aaron, and we have Scott Franklin. What's going on tonight, gentlemen?
Hey.
What's up?
I'm very excited to be here.
Luke Martin couldn't be here tonight. He is assassinating an official somewhere in a foreign country. He's doing international espionage, so he can't be with us. And Larry, I don't know what he's doing right now. He's probably
I shouldn't probably say this, but I actually know what Luke is doing right now.
Is he?
He is hunting down the head of the post office because of delaying the mail.
Again?
It's a good thing. I have a coworker whose brother's a big, not like local bigwig of the post office, and he's been telling me stuff for like a whole past couple of years about all this going on. He's like, it's screwed up, man. It's screwed up. I can't believe this guy's still in place. It's the most ridiculous thing, but whatever. Those of you who don't get the IWA bulletins through the mail are like, whatever, dude. Those of us who do, like myself, because we like having paper and
It's weird and it's not eco-friendly. I don't like it.
It's all right. Well, we could talk about eventually. We're going to have some special offshoot Tubecasts, and one of the themes will be throwback episodes where we go back and look at bulletins from way back when. Because I have 30-odd years worth of IWA bulletins.
What's your oldest bulletin?
I believe it's May of '97. No, sorry, 87.
May of '87. That's the one I want to look at.
Yeah, it's. What I'll have to do is send you a digital copy of it all. So
just scan it or take pictures of it. I would like to get it on screen too. Somehow I got to figure that out. That's going to be a whole thing.
I know there are players who have older bulletins than that. It's just a matter of, I'd love to see them. I'd love to. I want to see
like an '85 one, like year one.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. So, guys, if anyone has a 1985 IWA bulletin, I will pay you money to get this in my hands because I definitely want to see it because the IWA doesn't have it. So,
I can tell you,
I would have been playing because I would have been -1 year old.
There it is. There it is.
Well, I did pay Anthony Duddick $25 for his BRLs from like a 5-year span. I paid him the money. He sent it to me. That was money well spent because I've been closing the gap on my BRL all-time bulletins. I only have about 5-6 years left to fill besides the very first years, so it's not too bad.
You should get them bounded and put them in a leather book.
I thought about like paying some company to digitalize them all. Just please, what would it cost?
It wouldn't be hard if they weren't folded because you can run those through a machine pretty quickly.
Yeah,
so but they're folded and they're double-sided, which doesn't help at all. So who's in the chat right now? We got Kevin, we got Jeff, we got Leon, we got Biased Radio. There we go. You gotta give us a thumbs up here. That's how you say that, right? Yeah, I can't read. Don't forget, guys, I can only read at a 3rd grade level.
I think it's radio.
I think Leon wants us to swear more. Is what he's saying.
Oh, it's coming.
I told these guys like just wait the first 10 minutes because that's all that YouTube checks, and YouTube likes to demonetize.
So once we hit 10 minutes, it's all swears, baby.
Oh man.
Oh.
So welcome to the live Tubecast. Nice to see you all as always. Where's Darren? Darren's usually on these. I don't see him.
Yeah, I'm surprised Darren's here.
So he'll be in shortly, and Larry and Luke are off. They're out on assignment apparently. So
like
Blazed, okay. Blazed radio. Okay.
Yeah, I thought.
I can't read.
Ooh,
What the fuck you want
love
from me?
connection in the house. Very nice.
There it is. There it is. So I guess we're going to start off with the BRL Battle Royal League number 573. So Matt, what do you got for us in terms of TT this cycle?
Nothing. Oh, you're going to review it? Oh, all right. Well,
why do you think we're here?
That was Larry's job.
Oh,
Larry!
He's out playing pocket pool. I don't tell you.
I do want to throw some heads up. Congratulations to our BRL TV Tag champions for winning the U.S. Tag belts. Sad to say, all those 501s out of the BRL, the only one that cashed in was Catfish Chucky.
God bless him.
But there's some sort of weird thing going on because when Attaway posted the U.S. Tag champions, it was Winnipeg Wookie and like some other dude, not Catfish Leroy. So I don't know if like a name change didn't happen or whatever. But
I knew a kid in high school. His name was Leroy, but he wanted to be called Leroy.
I respect him.
Like, there's no apostrophe there. Anyway.
Well, who's Leroy Butler? Wasn't he a player for the Packers?
You're making shit up.
Maybe. I don't know. It's the dark time of my life.
I haven't watched football like in 10 years. I gave up on football. Jets fan, by the way. So I gave up.
Yes. I know, Jets fan stuff. Well, I'll say this. As many of you astutely pointed out last time, the Autumn Anarchy pay-per-view from Dog Days didn't get put in the bulletin. Sent it as a separate bulletin because, silly me, I thought, I'll send it ahead of time to make sure it gets in, and didn't. That's one of the things you learn about that way is oftentimes you send things in too early. They assume you missed the deadline. They don't put it in because that's how life works.
They forget.
Yeah. They mean well. They try. They're actually, if you didn't know, quick PSA, apparently someone in Attaway escaped the building, the compound, to get on vacation. So Kim is chained to the desk, and you have to get all your stuff in by 8 a.m. Monday and 8 a.m. Wednesday. So if you don't, you're out of luck. So BRL, lots going on in the BRL. We have the main event pay-per-view coming up this cycle. It's going to be a different format, kind of one page, faster recaps, less fluff, mostly because there's a whole lot going on with the draft stuff going on, so I didn't spend as much time doing it. A reminder that if you want to send me your latest avatar for the BRL Superstars list, please send it over. I just noticed that some of the pictures have really messed up looks, so I don't know what that's about. But
high res, baby. I go high res.
Yeah, I know. I'm horrible. For all the years I spent working in design, I should really be better at
I have
this.
a program that does that now.
Yeah. Welcome to everyone who joined the BRL recently. I know we're kind of a transition, and of course with the draft coming up, we're going to see some more players coming in. And a reminder, those guys in the NWL that are like, hey, I want to be in the draft, but I want to wait till I finish my time. That's totally cool. Just show up when you can show up. Well, we start off with legendary hooligan Jax McAllister, who he's been in a bloody year-long brawl feud with the Dungeon Master Sheldon Schrute, and he ended up getting Sheldon arrested, and it's been one bad piece of luck for Sheldon after another. We also should note Sheldon's part of the book club, as was Harlem Hamilton, but he was arrested because somebody snitched on him. We don't know who snitched on him. That's going to be one of the things unfolding in the BRL. We might actually have a contest to name that snitch, because that sounds like a fun contest. So Jax McAllister, I enjoy Jax McAllister, if only because his promos are mostly in all caps, and I just picture him just constantly screaming. And I don't know if you watch BTE or not, Being the Elite on YouTube.
No, because I'm a grown-ass man, that's why.
All right, well, there's a tag team called 2.0, And one half of the tag team, Matt Lee, he's the BTE champion right now. It's a whole other story, but he cuts old school promos by just screaming the whole time, and it makes me laugh because it reminds me of those promos from yesteryear. Let's see here. We got Gina Colada talking about getting hit on by Chubby Love, who tried to give her some booze, but she thought he was trying to break into her locker room and beat him up. And she's all excited about defending her title at Battlecade. She is the women's global champion, even though she pukes all the time. We have Monster Truck Tanaka with a new look. He got made fun of for his bad haircut, so he now has a mohawk. And he keeps attacking the White Claw Outlaws. He says he's been paid to do it. And unfortunately, him and Dixon Ticonderoga came just a little short of winning the Lethal Lottery tag tournament. So he did not get a shot at the White Claw Outlaws, which I was really hoping for because that would have been really good, payoff. But that didn't happen. So,
It was his fault.
yeah, that's tough. He attacks White Claw Outlaws with a toy Tonka truck, because that's what you do.
That's fair.
Book club talking about the new finisher being used by LePage Turner, which is called the alternate ending, where he uses his opponent's finisher. I don't know why no one's ever done this, but I'm sure it'll be stolen by AEW in the next month or so.
They listen.
They do. We have a mole. There is a mole. We've proven this many times over.
It's probably Tony Khan himself.
That would be awesome. Well, if you're listening, Tony Khan, bankroll us. We'll run the best Tony Khan Cup ever. So that's just a thing, going on. And then, of course, they announced that Monster Truck Tanaka will fill in as the temporary member of the book club while they're looking for a new member. So there's a recruitment going on to find a new third member of the book club. So stay tuned for that. Mechanico challenges the Hawaiian Heartthrob. He challenged him to a match at Battlecade, and they've been feuding for quite some time. Mechanico, if you didn't read that promo last month, you missed out. It was a fun one to write. Then, of course, Blood Money. We have
those guys are still around.
Blood Money? Yeah, I know.
They suck.
Although rumor has it one of them might be retiring soon. We have a promo where they go out and they offer the guy that sells the T-shirts to pay half price for all shirts except the ones for Logan Kane, just to make his fans pay more. We get the Suburban Hill Savages with their 9-point font. Again, Suburban Hill Savages, if you're listening,
they
please,
do. By the way,
just do 2 pages. Do 2 pages. We're begging you. I'm up to 250 readers, man. My eyes are killing me. It's terrible.
If you read it on the computer, it's fine.
Yeah, I know. But, as a guy who likes to read the paper version, I enjoy that, sitting in bed, reading.
On the toilet. Just be honest here. On the toilet. You got bulletins all over your bathroom.
That was the time where you can start swearing like crazy now.
Oh, no, I thought it was your Tinder notification.
No, it's Bumble. I'm on Bumble now.
Are you? How's that working out for you?
I will tell you this. So I swiped right. I was late at night. I was in bed. I was like, do. And I'm like, she looks familiar. And I didn't really think about it. Next day, I email.
It's your aunt.
Like, no. She's like, you look familiar. She's the mother of a coworker. Oh, we have these young kids that work for us, and she's the mother of one of the coworkers.
That's all right.
Like,
the milk hasn't spoiled yet, buddy. Let me tell you.
Anyways, to reiterate, we have a nice big promo from Punk Rock Mike, Agent 26, talking about namely Agent 26 multiple successes at the Specialty Championships, which is like his thing. He is the all-time record holder for BRL for Specialty Championships. Good for him. Punk Rock Mike talks about taking care of business. The Suburban Hill Savages have all the BRL commissioner belts. They have the global belt. They have the global tag belts with Agent 26 and Punk Rock Mike. They have the 6-man belts. So they're really in the driver's seat.
Yeah, man.
Next up, we have the Olympians. The Olympians have been calling out Flashy Jack and the Mannequins and Hate Clown. And they're just kind of looking to make some headway here. And I appreciate that they're jumping in and just, throwing out challenges, talking smack. That's the way to do it. It really is, And what was really cool was I always love, and I say this to players all the time, if someone does something that's really significant with your character or at your character or near them, play off it. So Flashy Jack Ferdinand was incidentally burned during a brawl, and he's been playing it up. He now wears a mask to cover his face while it heals. So I've enjoyed that very much. And if you look at the IWAR report, the IWAR bulletin or magazine, you'll see that the best of 7 showdown, the picture of Flashy Jack is with the mask on.
Yeah, he's got himself as number 3 as well. So he's not even he's not taking over mannequin 1 or 2. He's considering himself the 3rd in the trio, which I thought was pretty cool.
And I'll also say that I love the fact that the way the pictures came out, he just looks super depressed. It works. I will say, well, I won't get it away. I'll get back to that. Anyways, Flashy Jack chiming in and, just, again, putting himself in the mix. And, of course, he's going to be, well, should I give away the results of the main event? No, I won't. I won't give it away. Screw you guys. Dynasty has a parting shot at the league as the many other members of Dynasty have gone off to greener pastures. And I will say, Hillbilly Kevin, or Dewey, damn it, Dewey, sent me an email and he was like, "You see those scores?" Because Dynasty racked up the gold in all their new leagues. And he made a point, which is true. If they had stayed in the BR, they probably would have had like 7 regional belts because all of them pulled 501s across their various leagues. Just Flashy Jack had the league championship. And again, I'm sorry, Flashy Jack did not cash in for a championship in the IWAR report. Sorry. But, still good to see. I love to see, young guys come in and do well. We get Sheldon Schrute, and he's, again, doing the weigh-in. And during the weigh-in for the the main event match where him and Jax accidentally got put into the cruiserweight match and they had to lose weight to make weight. It turns out the reason Jax was still overweight was because Sheldon had put a bunch of potatoes in his pocket. And the legendary hooligan didn't like that. So that, don't abuse potatoes, folks. Barb Dwyer, still a maniac, and still our IWAR Women's World Champion. And we have coming soon some big announcements for the IWAR Women's thing. So remind me to go over those at the end of the show. Let's see here. Joey Neverfull Sultan Boca, however you say it. He's giving Tommy Lendell and Sax Goth of the business. And he's going to be challenged by somebody new at the Clash Champions at Battlecade. I'm not tired. We had a special little kind of interleague action as the IWL Steel Cut Oats got involved in the best of 7 series match and helped tried to cost Flashy Jack Ferdinand the win, but he actually turned out to cost Fiction the win because he hates Fiction. So a little surprise there. Twisty, I thought for sure he was going to go after Flashy Jack and help his fellow IWL wrestler. Nope. We have the ever-disturbing picture of Catfish Rob in the catfish mask. If you have nightmares, that's one of your fuels right there. Go ahead and look at it. It's page 48 in the BRL Bulletin. And we have Catfish Rob talking about his plans for the East-West Connection, Jane Red and Matthew Van Slaughter to be the ones to unseat the White Claw Outlaws, which I think we've officially made it clear now that the only way to get title shots at the IWAR World Tag Champions is to win the Tag Team Derby, the Murata Memorial, the Lethal Lottery Tournament, or be the IWAR Tag Team of the Year, that promos. So there's ways to get that, so keep chipping away. And they're one of the top teams. They really are. They're really, doing well in the rankings. We get Double R Rob Ratliff. He's pissed. And, it's kind of funny. Every so often I see things in the bulletins. I remember when Pissed wouldn't have gotten through in the IWA. And now, MFR gets through. It's like, all right. We get Betty Red talking about her plans to unseat Barb Dwyer and take down Miss Truth and win the title shot at main event. Next up, we have... Oops, skip the page. Let's see here. Let's check for some questions. Any questions from the audience here?
Well, Hey Clown has an open contract. Just sign and make sure you bring your A game.
He does. So, another good thing to do, too, is I know a lot of the Dynasty guys moved on, but there's still Flashy Jack, the Mannequins, and Hey Clown in there. So that means there's 2 possible spots, or they could just, go after somebody new. Especially some of the new faces coming in. Catfish the other white meat. That's correct. The other white meat. I I noticed Betty and Jane Red were going after barbed wire, and Betty Red, she won the Queen of the Ring, so she earned her shot. And we're in the process. I should talk about it later, but little teaser. We're going to revamp the women's division a little bit and make it kind of easier to follow, and put a bigger spotlight on it. So we got some fun cooking up for that. Let's see here. Once again, Nasty Critter Brian Rotten, a former Johnny B Cup winner and multiple-time BRL champion. He wants a shot at the IWAR championship, and I say to you, we'll see what we can do. Monster of Mayhem, Donnie Bloodstone, is calling up Fatty the Butcher, so he wants a shot with him. So we'll see if we can get that going. Fatty's not going to reply verbally, but I'm sure he'll accept the challenge. We have Ripley Strode, the final girl, I think it was. Is that right?
That is it. Yep.
That's the. I enjoy a Jokey Smurf reference, and you get plenty of that from Ripley Strode, who's calling out barbed wire, looking like there's going to be the next bloodbath feud between these two. And of course, we got Summer Nights, who's also going to be injected here. So could be a three-way going on. So we'll see what happens. And then, of course, Love Connection comes out and mentions that their check to the litigators is going to bounce. So that's going to be a problem if litigators want to get paid. They say how they had a plan to rival the Dynasty, which had a mega stable with like 12 members and all that. They were going to start the mid-card mafia. They had all kinds of plans to get all the mid-tier people together, and that didn't happen. So now they turned their attention to the Olympians. So we'll see if that actually comes together. And of course, there's a lot going on. Sorry, little dry throat here. Wet. And
it's gross, dude. That's so gross.
I'm still saying that we're going to see a big feud out of Love Connection soon, as they don't intimidate somebody into the obscurity. We have litigators here coming out, and they think they're being discriminated against in the BRL. And are they being discriminated against? I say yes. Yes, they are, because they're legal authority. And I think the bigger piece here is it's like a time bomb, waiting for the litigators to go off and really raise some hell. They're going after Seth Adams Lee, who is always looking for some attention / raise some hell. So we got Logan Kane's promo where he's talking about his top 10 list to make fun of Adam Cash. The top 10 thoughts going through Adam Cash's head during his Elimination Chamber match, which they both pulled 494, so that was fun. And of these, there were many good ones. This is page 52, 53 of the BRL Bulletin. And my favorite one was, there's a strong chance Fatty isn't mute. He just hates talking to me. I enjoy that one. Let me see here. Another good one. What would QT Marshall do? Which I suppose I can let the cat out of the bag. Larry is meeting with QT Marshall right now about a development deal. So, the QT Marshall story.
Unbelievable.
You heard it here first. So, we got Seth Adams Lee talking about being in the best of the best three, and talking up his match, and he's got a shot in the Tower of Terror match. So there's a lot of things. I like the fact that Seth takes the time to kind of break down all the things he's involved with, which is nice because it shows us you're paying attention, and also same time moving storylines along. And he's basically telling the litigators to go screw. So we'll see if that ends up going anywhere. We have again, I always say, please put a header on your promo. We have a promo here, which I'm not sure. It's about barbed wire, and she gets covered in pink glitter and confetti, and turning her into a girly girl. So I'm not sure who is making the attack. Just it helps us reading. If we know like who's making the attacks, kind of go, oh. And same thing for the people playing. Like if you're like, oh, someone attacked my wrestler and I have no idea who it is. Okay, moving on. Let's see. We got Sax Gotha calling out Logan Kane. We have Tommy Landell calling out, quote, Salty Butthead. I think that's supposed to be Joey Sambuca. Saltambuca. They're still angry. Dark Phoenix is still angry about losing a hot dog eating contest.
It's not the first time.
Hey, we all got our hobbies, right? Lady Kung Fu's calling out Gina Colada. And let's see here. We get, I don't know if it's, well, that's, I'm not sure whose promo this is. It's, I think, oh, it's Ace, oh, it's Wisp. Sorry, all right. Never mind, I missed that one when I first read it through. Then we have Wisp is calling out many people. He's looking to get some attention. I will say this. I do notice that Seth Adams-Lee cuts promos in the UWL. And UWL, the Unknown Wrestler League, is kind of a, not a faux pas, but it's not common. Because you're doing everything you can not to get noticed. Although I will say this, I like the fact that he tries to identify himself as different wrestler numbers. So it's like, and if you don't like me, you can kick me out of the league. My number is 45. And it's like, you're not 45. So, that's a nice touch. I like that. I appreciate that kind of move. Just don't pick my wrestler because I'm terrible. I'm just there for the wins, baby. We get Quick Kill Incorporated calling out House of Adam Cash and Fatty the Butcher. They're angry about their the Blood Bunnies promo page. I don't blame them. It is bragging. That's what we do. Rodney D'Armond and Brian O'Baron, also known as Thugs for Hire, T4H, have been going after the White Claw Outlaws, and I have it on good authority that they've challenged them to a big match at Battlecade. But more to come on that one.
Oh, fancy.
More to come. We get Sabretooth, and I saw this promo, and he was talking about, hinting at that, depending on what happens on October 12th, could be some changes to the Holy Family. So I was like, side note, like, dude, are you leaving the league? Just checking. Because we already had people several times throughout the year, especially last year was actually a big year for it, where someone like earned a title shot and was like in the process of getting that title shot at a major championship for the IWAR, and then they just left the game. Like, so not the case, just something else going on. But hints taken. I noticed those things. We have Hawaiian Heartthrob speaking about his dastardly attack by his former friend Super Bombero, now known as Mechanico, and that he's vowed to beat him in honor of his late wife and use his rage against him. So that's building up to be a huge match at main event. White Claw Outlaws are really sick of Mini Truck Tanaka coming after them, and they were more mad that he abused them with White Claw and spilled good booze on the ground. Although I'm not a drinker. You got anyone here familiar with White Claws that like them? Are they good?
I thought they were a 2021 version of Zima.
Okay. Can I tell you a fun secret? There's now a pumpkin spice version of those drinks. I'm not even lying. That's not even a joke. That's legit. Pumpkin spice at Trader Joe's.
I'm more of a Four Loko man myself.
I remember Four Loko. That was a big thing for a while. And then it blew up and everyone was like, yeah, I went too far.
Do you know Old English, Old E, by the way, now comes in plastic bottles?
Really?
It does.
Can I tell you a fun related Old English story? When I was in college in Alfred, we had West Coast rap party night, and the entire phrase.
This sounds racist already.
No, it was just one of the guys from California wanted to have a West Coast party night.
I don't believe you.
I was the old man in the apartment, so whenever security showed up, I answered the door because I didn't drink either. And I'd be like, I was 26 or 27. Like, hi, can I help you? And they'd be like, hey, knock the noise off. And one time in particular, the kids behind me were playing Risk, and one of them was wearing a gas mask. So they just looked at him and looked at me and were like, just turn the volume down, and left. But West Coast rap party night was fun. Although there was a keg in the shower, which I had to shower around. That was not fun.
Hey,
anyways,
Jeff, what kind of beer do you drink? Are you a natural ice type of man?
he's a Schlitz malt liquor.
That's not beer,
Jeff,
though.
Schlitz.
It's not beer. I mean, if we go malt liquor, we go Colt 45 all the way.
Old granddad. I will say, when I was a kid, it was Mad Dog 2020 was a big thing, and then there was Red Dog, was a cheap beer, and then it was cheap. Of course Natty Light. And out in Western New York, there was Geneseo Light or Jenny Light. I didn't drink, but I always kept my fridge in college stocked with beer to be polite. With Sam Adams, in case you were wondering. Some Foster.
Samuel Jackson's.
Samuel Jackson. Mm-hmm.
Good motherfucking beer.
Oh, good times. All right. Anyways, getting back to the BRL here. Let's polish off this stuff. The Carnival Profits. I can't believe Darren's not here. Just for that, Darren, I'm not going to review your promo by Jello, Duckins, and Carnage Dodge. So if you thought to yourself, what are the Carnival Profits like? Well, if you took the Street Profits and some Carnies and had an accident with like the fly teleportation machine, you'd get Jello, Duckins, and Carnage Dodge. And in a related note, I'm going to be thinking of the Carnival Profits this weekend because I'm going to the big Topsfield Fair, which is like the North Shore's like, big local state fair on the East Coast or east part of Mass. North Shore, as to say. Mansfield Fair is Marshfield's South Shore. Anyways, lots of carnies, lots of terrible contests, and like I'm looking forward to winning. Like, there's a booth there I call the Frank Snow booth because it's like all leather. They just have like leather chaps, leather hats, leather, like, everything leather. So it's like the Frank Leatherman Snow might be there buying some stuff. We have Effie O'Shaughnessy. I'm guessing that's the right way to say it. I think we talked about this. I'm pretty sure it's
we
Effie.
have.
And she's calling out Barbie Frankenberry Dwyer. So I think this is going to be very badly for Effie. That's my guess. And that's kind of how we ended the promos this month. And of course, this cycle, I want to remind everyone that this coming cycle is the write-up for the main event, and the winners of those matches will move on to challenge the champions at Battlecade, which is only a few cycles away. It really moves fast, so it's a nice change. I like what we've done, where we have, the event determines the shots, and then the shots are it's pretty quickly after. So you have some time to kind of promo. You can kind of switch things up. I found that when we had like 5 cycles or 4 cycles between title shots, it just felt like forever. How many times can you be like, I'm going to beat you in the ring, I swear. Winging. Well, that could happen. It says here, Mike Miles is like, never fooled Joey Sultan-Boca versus Massive Love in a wing eating contest. So there it is. High-end Scotch. So let's see. High-end Scotch would be what, like what's it? Screwball, the peanut butter flavored one.
I want to drink some Boilermakers.
All right, so that's your BRL trash talk there. Thank you everyone who submitted trash talk, and I'll save some news for the later. So we can go on to the next part, which I believe is Alex's IWL.
It is.
No idea.
No, it is.
It is.
All right, fantastic. Next up, Independent Wrestling League number 145. So, Alex G, what's going down in the IWL? Well, they didn't print my my trash talk, and it was 11 pages long. And
I still haven't seen it.
I sent it to you.
I didn't read it.
You didn't read it yet. Well, it's on the Facebook group for those who are so inclined. People that I'm currently feuding with would probably go out of their way to read it because it's very important because it sets up the pay-per-view. But for those of you who haven't read it, make sure you go back to the page and read it. Lots of shenanigans and tomfoolery. It's various sneak attacks. It is RISD business this cycle. So people got beaten up. Maybe 1 or 2 sexual assaults. I'm not sure. A lot of stuff going on. Yeah, Ali Atari had it coming. So go back and read that. I think that the way I formatted that piece of business is I started off with a Logan Kane TT, which Larry was so kind to send me, and then Luther takes over the show, and then we go on from there. So I thought that was extremely well done. And we go to clips, so it's basically Luther Alexander hosting late night Logan Kane show, and then showing clips of various sneak attacks that Revolution Extreme have done. So that's the ATT in a nutshell. We go off with the Ring magazine. We have a picture of Spider Williams and the three birds on the cover here. So that's neat. That's always fun. Hold on a second.
Do I have to swear? I'll swear.
You can swear. You can swear now. We're good to go.
Well, it's not fun now.
We got a pinup of the Destruction Crew. Nice to see Destruction Crew up on there. That's good to go. And then you'll be various posters for the various events, the King of Pro Wrestling tournaments, the MSG Tag League, the Fatal 5-Way, and the Bad Street USA Stable Championship. Interesting note, we see Flashy Jack Ferdinand congratulating Fiction here in the IWL. So that's nice to see, a little cross promotion action going there. That's pretty neat. Always enjoy that. We have a fantastic TT here from Alexander J. Styles. He's hanging out with Misty Hyatt. So let's see Misty Hyatt making her kind of one of her earlier appearances. So far, no one's really used her as of yet, but I'm looking forward for people to use her in the future. He's talking about Joe Boring and his shot at the IWAR World Championship. In addition to that, Alexander J. Styles will get a shot at the Pan American Championship against Bo Grogan at the pay-per-view King of Pro Wrestling. So, again, just solid TT here from Alexander J. Styles, as always. We have the Disembowelers, Meat Hook and Mongrel. Probably haven't made the splash that they intended to make here when they debuted in the IWL, because the IWL is very difficult. For those of you who don't know and don't compete here, it can be challenging because there's so many good wrestlers. Not as challenging as the BRL, but it's probably a step below. But they're here and they're causing havoc, and they're going after all types of stuff. Let's see, he's going after the Graces here. That's nice to see. Yeah, lots of fun here. Dick Peppermint is probably one of my favorite people of all time, for sure. We have Steel Cut Oates here, talking about Fiction and Flashy Jan Ferdinand. That's nice to see. Good job for Steel Cut Oates. Again, I don't know how he does it, but when we look at the TT here from the Three Birds, and it's so old school and it's so low tech that it has this element of charm to this TT, which I love. It literally looks like he taped these to Steel Cut Oates, Dick. Steel Cut Oates. So back to the Three Birds. It looks like he literally tapes these to the paper here, which is nice.
Maybe he does.
He does. I think so. So we have Grant Saprosa, who's taking a managerial role, Hall of Famer Grant Saprosa, by the way. We have Rosanna. We have the Three Birds, Jimmy Electric and Prince Tun. We have Rolly Hatchet and Sarah Smile, and we have Stagger 3, which is nice. Does anyone know the ballad of Stagger Lee and his various incarnations and the UWF and Memphis that one time? That was nice to see. It was JYD, and I believe it was Coco Beware back in the day. So it's nice.
Yeah, looks like neither of them.
It was no. It was both. Stagger Lee was a funny character because obviously it was supposed to be the whole like JYD. JYD lost to leave town, but instead of the Masked Man being the wrestler who left the promotion's favorite wrestler, Stagger Lee hated the Junkyard Dog, which is hilarious. It's like, he owes me $20, which I thought was a nice touch. We have Dixon Ticonderoga here. So Scott, what was Dixon talking about this cycle? What's going on here?
You would ask me as I'm coughing to death. It's okay.
That's the idea, though. Well, we're live,
Thanks,
buddy.
I appreciate that. Come back to me.
Okay. We'll come back to Dixon Ticonderoga's TT in a moment. But in addition to that, we have the Chameleon's Corner. And I know Jeremy had reached out. He's like, guys, I'm struggling here to come up with TT. And what I think my suggestion to him was just do skits. And this is a nice little thing for rookies out there. If you have nothing to say, like you're in between a feud, or if you reached out and tried to start a feud with someone and they're not responding, and you find yourself in a situation where you have nothing to say, or maybe creatively at this point you're kind of burnt out and you're trying to search for something, just write a skit. It can be something ridiculous. You can be shopping in the supermarket, and just cut a little TT out of that. Just get something down on paper, because it's like one of the hardest thing to do is to take your ideas from your head and get it down on paper. So just write a skit. It's do something fun. It can be a little bit silly. It can be serious. It can be scary. But if you're not in a situation where hey, I got to talk about wrestler A here, doing a skit would help you out there. We have the Graces, who are 2-0 in the MSG Tag League. They're my pick, by the way, to win the MSG Tag League. They're in the finals against the Omega Squadron. So that's dope. We have Ali Atari. He doesn't have anything interesting to say, as always. It's nice to see here. Where is Lady Xanadu anyway?
She's returning. That's the big hint. He's talking about her coming back.
Is she gonna have breast reduction surgery?
Well, she had a kid, so probably not.
Oh, the milk's gone bad.
Don't worry, you'll see.
So we have the son of Ali Atari here. Is that what we're going with here? Because I have that kid might get punted into the crowd.
The Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with his son.
We have Senor Lucha. He is his big matchup with John Satterfield coming up at the pay-per-view. He's looking to regroup people to put an end to Revolution Extreme. Not going to happen, by the way. Looking extra tan in this picture. That's nice to see. So Matt, since you didn't read the TT, the final sneak attack on the Risky Business tour this cycle was an unaired attack on Senor Lucha, which was too graphic to be shown.
Too much,
on television. But to give you the gist of it, Luther Alexander goes to Senor Lucha's dead mother's grave, digs her up, takes the mask. It's in her casket. It's implied that she may have been wearing the mask, but I'm not sure. And then he sets her body on fire, and now Luther is walking around with Senor Lucha's dead mother's ashes in an urn. So there you go. Congratulations, you deserved it. We have the Von Schnapps looking extra oily this cycle. That's nice to see. They're talking about the Triple D Cup, and they got bounced from the Tag Team Derby. That's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that they lost the Tag Team Derby.
It's a shame.
What are your plans for the Von Schnapps since you're here? Who are you going after? What are you doing here?
It's funny you say that because I finished my promo last night, and I think it's going to irk a couple of people.
Oh boy!
Namely, one person who needs to be irked. I have a couple of lines in there that ought to really drive the nail into the coffin. So.
Am I gonna get angry DMs at 2 o'clock in the morning now?
Yep.
Shit.
Yes, you are.
All right, moving on. We have Baron Stevens, still the UVU champion. Looks like.
Yep.
Why does it strip you of that belt?
They just can't beat me, or can't beat Barry Stevens, I should say, not me.
Ridiculous.
But it's just been a combination of I think he's had an average of 497, 498 every title defense. So
really?
This cycle coming up, this coming cycle will determine the latest round. He's facing Black Fox, but there's also a Money in the Bank match on that show. Yeah. So I think the plan is whoever wins that will probably be the highest scoring strat in the league, and they would cash it in on Barry. Which is fine. I told him, I'm fine. I've been sending promos over there, and Barry sent black roses to the whole entire locker room. So
just throw that belt in a river. Call it a fucking day.
Did Shane Douglas it?
Was it Shane? He didn't throw it in a river. It was.
No, he threw it in the barrel.
No, it was The Rock who threw it the Intercontinental Championship in the river.
Oh, okay.
I feel like there was a couple of other ones I'm not remembering from the 80s. It's been done quite a bit. I just can't remember at the moment who else threw belts and rivers and such. Yeah, not really. We have Black Arrow Vengeance here. They're talking about Steel Cut Oates and Ravishing Rex Chambers. So that's good to see. We have the Demolition Crew, Mean Mike Zenith and Shane the Train Gloom. They're out here talking a bunch of junk. They're talking about the tag team derby. Again, it's another really strong tag team here that just debuted in the IWL. We're going to get them in the 4-pack challenge along with the Disembowelers. So I want to see that matchup because that matchup is going to be dope. We have Rex Chambers. Who's that in the picture? Is that Heath Slater in the picture? I can't tell anymore.
Is it really?
I don't know.
Well, I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I tried to do a reverse Google search and it went to.
I thought it was Tyler Breeze.
It definitely went to xvideos.com, so I had to go in incognito mode to.
Remember that guy who he had the fake account and it was actually he used like some kind of like male escort model as his character.
He did.
Oh, Jesse Harris. It was actually Dan Harrell.
Yeah. What? He's a weird guy.
Yeah. Hey, man. You know what you do in your own time is your business, right?
I agree. And we have big money in the dog pound. So Raven did DCW. Okay, that's fair.
The guy on the right, big money, looks like Bobby Hill if he became a wrestler.
Is that Tyler Mane?
Yes, that is on the left.
Like Sabretooth from X-Men, like the former.
It is.
Okay.
And that what's his name? God damn it, the worst promo ever.
Ahmed Johnson.
Yes.
Well, the great Moeeb. Was it Moeeb from Global?
Mm-hmm.
Who watched Global, by the way? Did anyone watch the GWF? Scott, I know Scott watched GWF.
Eric Embry years, you know, that stuff?
Definitely.
You know, Patriot, Dark Patriot, you know, that stuff. The bungee jump match.
The guy that was a commentator for Global, he was my ring announcer.
That's right, Craig Johnson.
Craig Johnson.
Yeah.
Tall dude.
I want to see a GWF like tribute promotion come up. I really want them to do that bungee jump match again.
Do they bring back Eric Embry?
Yeah, might as well. He liked a lot of girl beating angles. It was weird.
Yeah, well, you know, you have a hobby.
He had like 3 on one, like an old USWA show. He had like 3 angles like that at one time. It was really, really off-putting. It was weird. Yeah, so if anyone in the chat, you ever watched GWF? If not, you should go watch it. It's pretty good. We have Tia Matt again on a quote unquote rampage here. Poor Sam.
Problem.
She's going around and acting like a modern day Michael Myers and not from Austin Powers. She damn near murdered Samantha Soley in this TT. You're friends with Chaz, Leon? Chaz was dope. Big fan of Chaz. You know, Cactus Jack was there. Scotty the Body was there. Oh, that's good. That's good times. So yeah, read this Tiamat TT again. It's very reminiscent of a horror movie of some sort. So that's pretty cool. We have the Backstabber here. I have no idea what he's talking about. No, I'm serious.
Backstabber.
What?
I figured something out about Backstabber.
You think he's real?
No. What I think it is, I think he's just somebody we don't know. Like, I was thinking about this.
It's Tony Khan.
It's like those movies where, like, the guy's a mask guy. They take the mask off and, like, who the hell is this guy? Like, it's just some dude. He's just some dude. That's fine. Like, it's not going to be like Seth or Brad Norman. Or
is that someone, like, this is not a rib, is what you're saying. Is that someone ribbing
right.
us?
Yeah, it's just some dude who legit, like, that's his character. That's fine.
Doesn't make any sense.
Like when Black Scorpion showed up and was Flair, and you're like, what? You know, like, come on, man. Like, it's just gonna be something we don't know.
He doesn't win ever.
What? He said he's gonna change that. He's gonna refocus and win titles.
He can't be a good guy and have the name of Backstabber. It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
unless that's like his creepy porn name, it just doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, he's got money. He's got various women in various positions around the world, and I think that speaks for itself right there. It pretty much sums up the TT.
It's awful. It's awful. It's not good. I'm surprised. Like, he had a best of 7 series with the American Patriot, and the American Patriot actually lost a match to him.
Oh no!
Get it together, Jeremy. What are you doing?
Jeremy, come on, man.
Get it together, man. Let's see. We have The BMF, the Freak, Black Death, after Yale, they're going after Fiction and Nas X, which is interesting. I like that. I dig that. That's good stuff. We have Nate Barnes and Nick Bloodtrap. And they're trying to have I guess what's it called? Intervention with Frankie Cischino, because he likes to beat up women. He likes to hang out with Eric Embry and beat up women. So that's cool. He needs help. Spider Williams with a really on fire TT talking about the MSG Tag League, which is nice to see. Put over the events, guys. That's why we have them. You know, it'd be very helpful. We have a TT from John Satterfield, who confirms that he is actually facing Senor Lucha at the next pay-per-view for the IWR World Championship. I don't know if Senor Lucha can overtake him. You know, John Satterfield is on a roll. And then we end up with the lunatic Matthew Grabowski. He is crazy. Probably should hang out with Backstabber. He might, in fact, get a shot at the Grand Prix Championship after the next challenger, because the next challenger's already been decided. So Scott, what you done coughing over there? You want to talk about you want to talk about your TT that you wrote this cycle?
Oh, I didn't write it. I just pulled it off somebody else's.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, so Dixon Ticonderoga, you know, he's been happy ever since he won the Grand Prix title. And he's waiting to see who his next opponent is.
Yeah, he did end up beating Stachino 2-0. So we're gonna have that match at the pay-per-view, but that result's already been decided. So
doesn't matter. He'll take on anybody.
Anybody and everybody.
That's right.
It, man. I love it.
So he's wanting his best friend David Crockett back.
David Crockett got fired.
Crockett got fired, so he's not fond of Misty Hyatt. So, which he has used twice now. So he does listen to the commissioner.
Yes, thank you, and I appreciate that.
You know, he's talking about getting the upper hand on everyone and getting ready for tag team titles. Which, yeah, it is. I did put it in there. Okay, never mind. Sometimes I don't even know what I write. So, but him being the Grand Prix and New Jersey champion, which he will hold until the next IWA state titles. You know, he'll always. Well, he may not have the Grand Prix title all the time, but who knows? He might make one of his own. But he's talking to somebody on the phone, and not sure who it is until they start talking about the Chameleon.
Yeah.
And he starts laughing about him not knowing that Chameleon doesn't know where his wife is most of the time. And then he starts telling this person on the phone that he misses her and tells her goodbye. And he says, "Sammy, baby." And then Misty went crazy and asking if that was Samantha Soley. And Dixon just shrugs his shoulders and puts a finger to his lips as to tell her to keep quiet. So, it's a second cycle in a row that Dixon has maybe been seen or talked to Samantha Soley.
That's right.
And now he's going to have to start looking at other people, and especially if she's gotten attacked, he might have to come to her aid if that's who he really likes.
It's true. She is currently the director of Johnny Revolution's house of what's it called? Oh no, of
Wayward Girls.
No, it was halfway house for girls who won't go all the way. So, doing her charity work. That's good. All right. So that's the IWL in a nutshell. Next up, NWL. NWL cycle number 172. So Matt, what do you got for us in terms of TT this cycle?
Well, this is where I get to dish off to Aaron.
There it is.
That's right. So at NWL, I mean, we've always got a pretty good crew of writers at the moment. I was going to touch on the Teamster Challenge. I mean, the Teamster is the current commissioner of the NWL, and he's, I'm kind of waiting with bated breath to see if Mad Dog Dick Jackson is going to make his way back anytime soon. But I think in the meantime, the Teamster has set up the Teamster Challenge in the NWL. So I'm not sure if Matt wanted to go over that quickly before we get into the TT.
Sure, yeah. That's going to be revealed. What it's going to be is it's a contest where anyone in the NWL who signs the tag match and wins the tag titles with the designated wrestler will win free matches. And the idea is every cycle that no one wins the titles, the pool of free matches goes up. So the longer it takes to win the tag belts with this designated wrestler, the bigger the prize. And the idea being that more people keep signing the matches and we're going to win the matches with them. And the Teamster will reveal who the wrestler is for the Teamster Challenge at Clash Champions.
So, I mean, as far as NWL storylines, I'm kind of curious to see, we had our original commissioner, Mad Dog Dick Jackson, put out via a heinous beating at the hands of a wrestler named Colossus. Mad Dog hasn't been seen for a few cycles. In the meantime, the Teamster has taken over. So I'm kind of curious to see if that'll come to a head somewhere down the road in the next few cycles once if Mad Dog is able to make his return. So, I mean, we could have these two legends of the IWAR possibly vying for who runs the NWL, which I think is, could make for a pretty cool showdown somewhere down the line.
Absolutely.
But as far as TTs, if we get into it, we start off with the total package U.S. male, who's just wreaked havoc on the NWL. I think it sounds like U.S. male is coming to his graduation date, which will coincide with the IWAR draft, and U.S. male has just made enemies, all the way through his entire year with the NWL. So, I mean, wherever he ends up in the IWAR network, I think U.S. male is going to have some enemies to feud with, which is going to be pretty exciting to see how that shakes down. But on his way out, I mean, we have U.S. male in the back locker room at an NWL show. He collects various ring gear from various NWL wrestlers, and he's sending it off with his own signature, which, is typical U.S. male. He's taking the mask of Fighter X. He's taking Dapper Dan D's backup tuxedo, and he's going to send them off all over the world. And this is all going on while the NWL Battle Royal is taking place, the winner of which was a newcomer, Warpath Wolf Keenan, and he takes the $30,000 prize. Little does Wolf Keenan know that U.S. Mail is mailing off the $30,000 check. So, I mean, U.S. Mail, there's no end in sight to the enemies that this guy's going to make on his way out of the NWL. And we'll have to see what waits on the horizon for U.S. Mail. Actually, you know what? The $30,000, he's actually sending it to the Ric Flair Defense Fund.
There it is.
Which that'll hopefully help Ric Flair in his future endeavors, whatever those may be. Up next, we have the NWL Young Lions champion, Stevie Vertigo. And I think Stevie's kind of going through a bit of a descent into madness at the moment. I think the pressure of being the Young Lions champion is kind of getting to Stevie Vertigo at the moment. He's got his next title defense at NWL number 174 at Clash of Champions 20, where he's going to face off against a guy who's kind of burst onto the scene. The Country Hammer, Rhett Grady, is one of the challengers. And I think it was supposed to be a triple threat, but the other challenger, I think, is going to be up in the air at the moment because we had some shenanigans kind of happen behind the scenes. So, I mean, that'll play into an NWL storyline as we move along here. But Stevie's kind of being attacked on all sides from various competitors in the NWL. Everybody wants to strive for that Young Lions championship, whether it be Mick Ferrari, Rhett Grady, Fighter X, members of the new H&R stable. So Stevie seems to be kind of coming apart at the seams. And then I think we're building towards a big showdown between Stevie Vertigo and his stable, the Syndicate, and Rhett Grady and the Grady family. And so this TT kind of ends up with the Grady family kind of getting the upper hand on the syndicate. So we'll have to see where that one goes to. Next up, we have Stevie's stablemates, Toa Noah and the Samoan Assassin. They kind of had a bit of a trip up against the Gene Co faction at NWL's first Futurescape show. So it seems like, the pressure's on Toa Noah and the Samoan Assassin to kind of up their tag team game, or it's possible that they might end up being kicked out of the syndicate, which seems to be hinted at here. They're also part of the feud against the Grady family. A couple of TTs that I kind of wish I would have saw in this cycle, I think, were a little bit more from Mick Ferrari and maybe Mike Dynasty and Lance Horowitz. I think those TTs were missing this cycle, and it's possible that those could leave a bit of a hole in the storylines that we're working. But those guys usually put in some pretty good TTs, so hopefully they'll get back into the mix next cycle. Next up, we have a TT from the industry, which is Rod Camino, Waz, and Dave the Decision Wasilewski. They're one of my favorite stables at the moment. This is just kind of a classic, old school kind of TT where Rod Camino and his stablemate Waz come down to watch a match between the Gene Co faction. We've got Nivik Largo and Zydrate participating in a tag team match, and Rod Camino comes down and he's kind of doing some commentary at ringside, and you just know that's not going to go well. So things kind of come to a head after the match. We have the industry attacking Zydrate and Nivik Largo of the Gene Co faction, and those teams are actually going to have a showdown at Clash of Champions 20 for the newly reinstated Young Lions Tag Team Championship. So yeah, I was really excited to see how this TT was shaking down, and it seems like we're going to have a pretty good feud between the industry and Gene Co. And I guess that's one of the things about the NWL is everyone kind of has a set time in the league. You have I think it's 17 cycles to kind of do your thing. So at certain times you find you have to time your feuds a certain way. Sure. A team or a stable might be kind of heading out the door, so you kind of have to be aware of when that might be happening before you get into a feud. But I think there's a lot of potential between the industry and Gene Co as far as putting on a good NWL feud, and we'll have to see what happens at Clash of Champions 20. And right after the industry, I'm on page 51 of NWL 172. Right after the industry, we have a TT from Gene Co, who they're going to be the opponents of the industry at Clash of Champions 20 and NWL 174. And that one basically ends up with Zydrate of the Gene Co faction. He's got a member of the industry faction kind of chained up in a basement somewhere to the point where the chains are cutting into the man's skin. Zydrate, I think, has kind of found himself on his way out with Gene Co. There might be some cracks showing in the Gene Co faction. I know Zydrate has kind of been the most successful member of Gene Co. But I think originally the idea was that Zydrate was going to be the leader and Nivik Largo was going to kind of be, subordinate to Zydrate. But Zydrate hasn't been as successful as Nivik Largo. And I think Zydrate is starting to get a little jealous of Nivik Largo's success. So we'll have to see if that comes to a head at Clash of Champions 20. Will Gene Co pull off the newly reinstated Young Lions Tag Team Championship, or will the industry take that championship? We'll just have to see. How am I doing so far, Matt? Do you want to chip in with anything?
No, they're doing a good job recapping the storylines and moving things along. And again, we missed Lance Horowitz, we missed Mick Ferrari and Sam Hain. And that's the thing, we always look for you guys to throw your promos in there. So always feel free to make sure you get them in there. I do think you can probably skip a couple of pages.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, one of the players quit. I won't go into it more than that.
I want to go into it. I got some shit I gotta say.
Do you want to save it? Do you want to go for it?
No,
right now?
I want to do it at the end of the show.
Okay, that's fine.
I want to talk some shit.
Okay, all right.
I think overall, like in the IWAR in general, maybe specifically with the NWL and with the IWL, it's very storyline based and it's very TT based. So I think consistent TTs and consistently moving along the storylines is kind of a big part of what we try and do in those leagues. So if we keep those TTs coming, then we can keep those storylines moving along and we can decide, who's going to move along in the various contests that happen.
Yeah, I agree. And I would say that, I think one of the things I'm working on for the BRL is to build more around a centralized storyline or two as we have shaping up the NWL without giving away spoilers. But if you want to pick up on the TT, bow on page 59, that's cool.
Sure. So, yeah, up next we have the HNR, the Honor Revolt stable, which consists of No Limits, Nick Dane, Lionheart, Lachlan Kincaid, and was it Wolfheart?
Lionheart. Lionheart, Lachlan, whatever it is. He's Irish.
The third guy is a wolf kind of theme, but these guys have kind of burst onto the scene in the NWL. They're putting up some really great TT. They're winning titles like crazy. So, I mean, when a stable like that comes in to the NWL, I know for myself it makes me want to step up my game, but I hope that kind of goes league wide as well, because we can't just have these guys taking up all the titles and taking up all the space in the TT. So everyone listening out there, make sure you get your TTs in there and let's give these guys a run for their money.
Yes.
But yeah, we have HNR. They're really jumping in. They're kind of challenging all the champions on the title page as well as the commissioners' titles. They really want a shot at the Young Lions Championship and at the Young Lions Tag Team Championship. We have a match here between Nick Dane and California Gunslinger, where Nick Dane pulls off the win, and he picks up his first title in the NWL. And then Stevie Vertigo comes out and kind of shoots him down and says that Stevie Vertigo is going to be the first one to get a shot at the NWL League title. And then we have Stevie Vertigo Syndicate members come out, and they're kind of beating down HNR, which, I think that might be an important point too as far as TT. It's got to be a little bit of give and take. If you're stable or if your characters are just constantly beating everyone down, I think you guys have mentioned in the past, and it doesn't really give people a lot to work with. But I think in this TT from HNR, not only do they have a lot of different characters involved, they have the Evil stable, they have the Grady family come out and get involved, but they also they have their enemies get some licks in on them as well as them, and it kind of ends up with the HNR stable and the Grady family reigning victorious. So I think with this TT, it kind of shows that they're paying attention to some of the storylines, and they're paying attention to who's a heel and who's a face in the league. So I really enjoyed this TT, and I think HNR is off to a really great start so far in the NWL. Up next we have El Templo Tolteca, which is a TT by El Jefe. He's basically saying that he's realizing that he needs a tag team partner in the NWL, so he's bringing in the Spider, Sancho Valdez. So we'll just have to see where that one goes, if those guys are able to mix it up into the tag scene. Then we have a couple of newcomers. We have Glenn Cavendish. which, when you see newcomers come into the NWL, these guys, for example, they make a really great impression off the bat. We've got Glenn Cavendish, we've got Jay Silverblood, and we've got the Dark Stranger. And these guys are kind of hitting the ground running. They're introducing themselves. It's a pretty basic introduction of their characters, and you always hope that their second cycle into the league that they kind of keep that going.
I'll add quickly, I enjoyed the debuts and the use of imagery. Again, some really strong promos, introductions. Although I did think to myself, he said he had Mohawk Deathlock and it said parentheses Indian Deathlock, and I've always wanted someone like, to come in and be like from, I don't know, somewhere in India and use the Indian Deathlock. It just seemed more appropriate to me.
Right. I think we've got a couple of comments in the chat here. We've got
oh boy,
we got Jeff is a big HNR mark, which I'm definitely getting onto the HNR train myself. Those guys are kind of crushing it so far. Jeff also says that Dapper Dan D won't need those tuxedos once he moves to the Grady Ranch in a few cycles, which that Dapper Dan D has been frequenting the Grady Ranch recently.
He's not allowed at the elementary schools anymore. So
is he tagging Aunt Betty? What's he doing with Aunt Betty? What's going on there?
We've got Ryan P is going to rewind to listen to the IWL. The milk has gone bad. No one else seemed to get it. Which I think that's a Dave Chappelle reference.
it is. It is.
The milk has gone bad.
Four thumbs. Give them titties 4 thumbs down. Oh. Anyways.
I legit knew people who were like super depressed, and I want to say that show, I've witnessed it with my own 2 eyes, has literally saved lives. It has.
I can see that.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. I had this guy come to me. He's like, I was about to, to do some self-harm to myself, but I watched that Chappelle, and it just turned it all around. I'm like, seriously? He's like, yeah, that's a true story.
There it is.
There it is. Dave Chappelle saving lives. There you go. So, Matt, I guess we had some controversy. Now, on this show, we've never strayed from controversy or drama. We've always gone in literally face first into controversy and drama, regardless of where it is, what happens, or who looks bad. It doesn't matter to us. So, Matt, you want to give a little background on this a bit before I go into it?
I did want to finish up just talk about the promo from the Grady's.
Oh, fine.
Just outstanding work, top shelf work, character work, storyline work, and I actually saw a preview of the Grady's promo for next cycle and talk about just wow. I also want to say the shooting range page was awesome, so that was well done.
That was really good. I agree.
A fun recap, kind of the quotes. It reminded me. I'm assuming this was maybe like, what's it called, Publisher or?
I use Publisher myself.
Yeah, you would.
It's so better than PowerPoint.
I love PowerPoint. Anyways,
you would.
But I do want to say I enjoyed the homestyle fish boy. I don't know what the hell that is. That's just disturbing.
I haven't been able to figure that one out. I think it's been appearing for a few cycles, and they're usually quite bizarre. But I actually don't know who these are by.
Yes. All right. So
keeps me up at night a little bit.
So again, just page 69 and beyond for the Grady family promos. It's just great, but it's the backstabber. A great promo by Colonel Doom too. So again, some really Colonel Doom does a lot with just the dialogue and the movement of the storyline. So just thank you everyone at NWL. I keep telling people like, man, this is like the most talented pool we've had maybe ever. Great work. And if you are not in the draft and you wanted to be, contact me like today, tomorrow, ASAP, because the draft is coming up in just, my God, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. How long are you staying on Mars? 2 weeks. So you want the dirt skinny on this story. So here's the deal. Last Friday, I was at a funeral, and then I ended up going to a Red Sox game that's been planned for a long time. So it was a good, like, kind of like mental stress day to, like, you know, get out. And I didn't really check my phone all day. And then I was on the way to the game, and I checked my phone and just saw that it was blowing up the NWL locker room. So I'm going to really abbreviate it. Look at that. Did you see that? Look what happened.
Give it a second.
Mr. Franklin.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin.
Boom. Dropping that.
Guys, don't forget to use the super chat function. We greatly appreciate it for tips and such.
And
don't forget to use our Amazon affiliate link. It's in the description. Again, you don't have to spend any extra money. Just spend the amount of money that you normally spend on Amazon, and we will get a piece of that action.
Sweet. All right, so continuing. Darren was explaining some of the various ways that other federation scores and drops can affect what we pick in gold. And one of the players did not respond well to that in a way that I thought was so angry and so outraged it was a work. I was convinced it was all a gag, but it wasn't. And the player got super pissed, claiming that there was a conspiracy, that it wasn't, supposed to be random. It wasn't supposed to be.
He basically said that the game was rigged and it was biased.
And we were carnies.
And we're trying to take his money.
Hashtag.
I'm sorry. Okay. Jeez.
Now, what I don't understand.
Stop giving us money.
I don't understand. This is where I have the problem in all this, right? This is where I take issue with this. And Matt has an infinite amount of patience, way more than myself, because I would have completely lost it. The way the game works in a particular manner. So, are the holds 100% random? No, because that would be an awful gaming experience. Imagine if hold value number 5 shot up to 30. Oh my God, it started a riot. The game would die.
Yeah.
It would be ridiculous. So there has to be some sort of tactic or strategy of picking holds to make the game even functional on a level here. So no, the holds are not 100% random. What is 100% random are the holds within the predetermined holds that are not going to drop crazy. So your 25s are going to go up, but it's random. It could go up to 27, go up to 26, and go up to 29. You don't know where it's going. So within the first 10 holes and the 15 holes in total, those holds are random. It's just what to pick here. There's nothing biased about it. Again, Jeff, I understand where he was coming from, but it wasn't like any of this was ever hidden. Matt's done workshops. We've had Tubecast about how to pick holds. None of this was out of left field. No one was hiding anything. And the reaction from it was so over the top and so ridiculous that Matt thought it was a gag. I'm thinking this guy has serious mental problems. I don't know him. I've never talked to the guy. But I'm sitting there, I'm like, whoa, what is going on?
I was sitting in the bleachers at Fenway, 3 rows from the bullpen, and I kept checking my phone, and I actually screenshot and sent it to the guys. I'm like, all right, here's what's going on. And I usually do this when we have something like a major question come up that I don't know the answer to. I'll be like, hey, screenshot it, send it over. Like, hey, you guys know this. And I was convinced this was a gag until I checked my email, and there was an email from him telling me to take all of his guys out of the draft, that he was done with the game. He emailed Kim. He was done. And, players come and go. It's just part of the game. Players come and go. Sometimes they're there for a
Matt,
while.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What was his strat totals? Was he doing 300s? Like, was he picking random holds?
I'll tell you right now.
Was he going like, hey, hold value 12, that's going to jump up?
This past cycle, he scored 489s, 488. So
So to me, that tells me that he understands how to pick holds. So what's the problem here? Is it because, hey, listen, sometimes the IWA doesn't repeat drops? That's something that we figured out on our own.
He also
and that's not even 100% accurate either, because they've done drops multiple feds before. That's something that has happened.
Yeah, he scored 492 and 490 last cycle. So I mean, you said like he was getting this. Before that, he was scoring. Oh boy, 486. So he was scoring pretty regularly in the low, like.
But he's not getting hold value fives. He's not throwing fives up there.
No,
that's the point.
No.
So if you're scoring anywhere from a 485 to a 501, I think you have the concept of the game down, of how to pick holds. Now, when it was revealed to him that a lot of the times, most of the times even, that the feds do not repeat drops.
Right.
Again, how is that something? That information has not been secret. That information has been out there. I don't understand what his problem was.
Again, I just, it's one of those things that I think anyone who's ever witnessed a brawl breakout, until someone actually starts throwing a punch, often you think they're just messing with each other. Like those guys are screwing around.
Right. And
I just, we, like Mike tried to talk to him, like literally left voice messages saying like, hey man, and he felt he pushed him over the edge. Maybe he did a little bit, but I think at that point you're trying to talk logically to someone who just didn't want to accept logic, which is, I know it's a game. And I think one of the hardest things is like this past cycle, for example, I had a horrible cycle. Horrible. I had two scores above 495 and no gold. But more importantly, most of my scores were in like the low 490s, high 480s, like just terrible. And what did I do? It was on me. I bought all in on a hold, number 62, and every one of my guys had that except for two. And, I did badly. That's not the IWA's fault. That's not they didn't trick me. I just convinced myself and went against my own pattern of rules that I shouldn't go all in. You need to spread out your luck there.
Again, it goes back to guys tracking holds, which is something the guys did on their own. I don't know when tracking holds became a thing. Before my time, clearly.
It's been a long time thing, back in like the 90s right. Even. But it's not to the degree it is now. But I'll just kind of
again, you're taking when it comes to strategies, it's still an educated guess. Anything right. Can happen. Anything from a 485 to a 501 can occur in your strat. You don't know.
I always feel that, when I see people post like, oh, I had 3 521s or whatever the hell it was, I had, 18 PPFs, 501s. I always want to say, how much did you spend to get that? Because it's hard to do with a limited roster. Now, if the guys at NWL, it's hard because you're new at the game, you're learning the game, we're trying to help you get along. And I announced this on the last Tubecast. I'll reiterate now that Larry and I are not going to be doing goal strategy workshops. Just we keep covering the same ground. We had the layout. If you can't figure out by now, it's kind of
pointless. Again, once you understand how to pick holds,
right? It's fun. I might do a quick like post on the page and talk about here's what dropped here. Here's a drop there. Here's what your options are.
Leon said he tracked holds in 1997. Do you still have all those sheets from 97? Because I bet you if we track it back to 97, we can predict next cycle's holds.
I have. I'll say honestly, I have back to 2016. I've been tracking them, in gold, only gold. I know.
I don't track holds, guys. I do not track holds.
That's right. Luther Alexander doesn't test.
No, I don't track holds, and I still average 494 is what I average.
It's true.
It's true.
And I'll tell you, I track my performances, and I can go into another time, but just it's good to see what works, what doesn't. But oftentimes it is less about the IWA tricking us with a bad cycle because we're in gold. We're going to see any major swerves in iron and steel first. Like this past cycle, it was a 42 going to 45. We saw it coming. If you used it, it worked. Boom, bang, bang. Right. I just think, and Jeff shouldn't feel bad. I know we tried to reach out to him or try to. There are some players who
we get that from time to time. Just someone who just
happens.
Completely loses it. And that happens. It's happened to me a couple of different times. I've lost it on people that just push me too far. I mean, it happens.
It does happen. The rage of Atlas.
It can be bad.
So Ryan goes back to 2012. Holy crap. But Ryan, is that every Fed or just gold? Well, this can parlay into some discussion in other because when we started talking about this, I mentioned in the last Tubecast that the NWL average score was like 480 something, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking about how, interesting that, newer wrestlers always come in, they have like low 300 scores or maybe high 300 scores.
Because they literally don't even get to see the report. If they're doing it off the ad, right, on the PWI, if they're still there. You have no idea. You don't even know what the value from the last cycle was.
Right. So if you're brand new, you're going to this blind, so you're scoring terrible. So behind the scenes, I emailed IWA because there was a guy that posted a question to the last episode of this and asked like, "Oh, no, that's not true. I had higher than that score." And I, went to IWA and said, "Hey, I'm curious." So we went back and forth. I posted the response from them in the NWL locker room. So here's kind of the recap for you. What's coming up is this. Beginning, I think it's not this cycle, the cycle after. The IWA, I just dropped my notes. Of course I did.
Damn you, gravity.
I know, I have a fan going on. Damn it all to hell, sons of bitches. So, here's what's going to happen. When you enter the NWL, your first cycle in the NWL and the first two cycles after that do not count towards the average league score. Now, I'll say this. We don't expect the NWL to win the highest average score. But this cycle alone, if they had used this formula, the average score would have gone from 480.3 to 487.6. Now, that's small, but that would have put you, I think, in the 13th highest. Like, it just, as far as the way we're ranking by activity, it's just another way to, help them kind of a better idea of how the NWL players are actually doing performance-wise. Because it's hard to say, is anybody getting this stuff we're telling them? Is this making a difference when you have this? The scores are always tanked out. So the way they explained it was they're being sabotaged by new players. Well, they're not being sabotaged. You just haven't figured the game out yet. You haven't really learned anything. So starting, I believe, next cycle, this is the first of 3 big things coming up, or many big things coming up.
We think they got a new boss, by the way.
Yeah. Whoever it is.
We have new leadership at the IWA, I think. I think he went on vacation.
Yes.
Probably the Thailand.
Yeah.
You're going to Roppongi. Is that Thailand? Yeah, that's Thailand, right? Roppongi's in Thailand, right? Yeah. Matt's been there a couple times.
No, it's a way to kind of have a better idea of how the NWL is doing player-wise. So that's going to be fun to look at. Now, here's some other, this is going to be breaking in the Tuesday report. So you're getting this news early, but they got back to me today. So other things that are coming up. My notes here. Quick question. Why is RoboCop in the IWA report? Anyways.
I like to throw him on there because I think it's funny.
True.
All right, so I have a file of pictures that I use for the upper right-hand corner. RoboCop is one of them, so when I'm randomly putting pictures up there, he comes up every once in a while in the rotation.
All right, well, I had to see him. I was just like, holy shit. So we tried to get many of the leagues in the IWA have unreal deals. Like when it comes to activity,
I hate them.
They have these these great deals like spend $15 and get 500 matches and 2,000 scrub wins and 18 battle royal entries for free. And I was like, why don't we get these things? So I wrote to them and said, hey, and I've asked before. So I wrote again and I said, hey, we're wondering if we could get a deal for the BRL, IWL, and NWL called the IWAR deal. And I pitched out a couple of options and said, here's the ideas. And they said no. But they said that we could, because one of the things is the BRL deal right now is $12, you get 20 matches, and you get 30 scrub wins if you TT. Well, we're doing away with the TT option. I just want to make it so everybody can just take the deal and go to town. So what's going to happen is this. There's going to be the IWAR deal. So all 3 IWAR leagues, anybody in those leagues can spend $12. You'll get 20 matches. You'll get 30 scrub wins. So it's not perfect. It's not the best deal. But in fairness to IWA, the BRL and IWL have 2 phenomenal prizes. They have Battle Royal prizes that are either $50 IWA credit or usually like 45 to 50 some odd matches that are free. So I understand the IWA's point of view. It's they're looking to have activity. We already have that for the most part, and because our credit prize is tied into activity, it'd be kind of stacking the deck. I get that. They give these bonuses off to leagues that are trying to come along, be new, be bigger.
I don't want any prizes personally.
Listen, you.
It's true.
So the IWAR deal,
you get undesirables when you do that.
That's true. That happens as well. But this deal's not that good that everyone's gonna be like,
it's 10 more scrub wins essentially.
It is 10 more scrub wins, which is nice. So it's a little more activity, but more importantly, the players, get a little bit of a boost. So that's the deal. And also a reminder, if you're in the BRL or IWL, your Battle Royal entries are 2 for $1. So that's really a good deal, And the other big news, this is probably the biggest thing for the NWL, I have talked to them and confirmed that there's going to be a brand new report specialty title that's going to be in the report, and it's going to be competed for exclusively by the NWL roster. So that means that when you win this title, you're not competing against all the veterans who score 8 gazillion 501s because they have 8 gazillion wrestlers. You're competing against everybody in the NWL. And here's how it's going to work. Right now, whoever's league champion is the league champion. Whoever wins a battle royal has a battle royal, right? What's going to happen is this. Whoever has the wrestler with the highest single strategy score, okay? So whoever that is, now it could be a champion, could be a ranked wrestler that didn't get, they're brand new, they didn't get a chance. Who knows, right? If your wrestler has the highest score, they're going to be called the Rookie Brawl winner. Now, the Rookie Brawl was around a long time ago, and they used to use it as like a contest for all the new wrestlers. Got put into a contest every cycle, and they won. I think it was like $50 or something like that. It used to be. They used to give cash away like crazy. They used to have a $500 cash prize with the IWA Championship. No lie, that was a thing for a while.
And you'd also win a phone call from a wrestler. 9 times out of 10, it was Buck Zumoff.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler would call you and breathe heavy. So the championship's called the Rookie Brawl Champion, and it'll be the wrestler with the highest single strategy score. If it comes down to like a tiebreaker, they will do point flow to determine who the winner is. But it's going to be cool. It's going to be 25,000 and 10 free matches. It's going to be listed with the other specialty titles like American, International, and so forth. So that's pretty cool. So you're going to have somebody in the NWL have a chance to make the IWA report, and it's going to be a chance to get yourself some exposure. You're probably going to get 15 offers to join different stables. It's just a nice little thing that we've been working on for a while, and it's come to fruition. And they were super receptive about it because I said, it's a way to show some spotlight on the rookie players and give them some attention, and they love that idea. So
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more changes around the IWA. It seems like they've been more receptive to stuff over the past year, for sure.
I would say, in my opinion, and I know this sounds crazy to me saying this, the game's getting too easy. There are dudes who have had the six-man championship for like a year and a half. Like they've won the world championship for a year and a half. And there's always like 18 different champions with the six-man championship, or the tag champion is 12 guys. It's kind of ridiculous. I actually think if they expanded the drops to like 24 to 23 points and really made it more like there were 16 holes to choose from and not just 12, you'd have a little more competition. You'd have a tougher time. Now, I know a lot of these guys would absolutely melt down and their brains would explode if they actually had to like do more work.
1,000%. You out of your mind?
Yeah. Hey, I don't give a shit. These guys win all the time. What the hell do I care? These guys win so much, they don't remember who their belt champions were. You know? So it's just
big head wrestler number 15.
Exactly. So I want to talk about that. I also want to talk briefly. Scott's still here?
Yes.
All right. To throw you under the bus, Scott's stepping up and taking on some responsibility here with the women's report. And one of the things we're doing is adding more events. So do you want to – we haven't got a name for it yet, for the women's version of Lethal Lottery. But we'll figure that out. But essentially, we're going to do a Lethal Lottery type tournament for the women where they're paired up randomly, except for this time – the winning team then goes head-to-head with the winner going on the challenge for the IWAR championship, women's championship. It is just another way, like we're trying to build it so like with the Queen of the Ring, we'll have the women's lottery tournament. We'll call it blind date. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
Isn't that an MTV show named Blind Date?
Oh, I'm sure it was.
What was the one with Jenny McCarthy? I forget.
Jenny McCarthy. Oh, The World's Flat. Was that her?
No. There's nothing, first of all, there's nothing flat about Jenny McCarthy, number one. Let's be clear about that.
There's what?
There's nothing flat about Jenny McCarthy.
No, that's the only thing about her.
Singled Out was the name of that show.
Singled Out. There it is.
Yes.
That's Scott. Do you want to talk about some of that a little bit, or as far as some of your ideas for the women's division?
No, I wasn't ready for that.
I knew it. That's fine. I know. I just wanted to kind of put that out there.
Like,
I would like players
by throwing me under the bus. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to put this out there because I want players to know that Scott is your point of contact. If you want to reach out to him and get some more involvement with the women's division. That's going on. So we have a lot of stuff in store. We're going to work on this and revamp it. Now, the other thing that Scott's putting together, no pressure, is our as yet to be unnamed or named the tournament, like a Lethal Lottery tournament, but with 6-man. And there'll be 8 teams, 3 per team, randomly drawn together. And same idea where it's the 3 individual scores added up, and that score is the team score, and this higher team score advances. This will be a thing where the winning team becomes the new IWAR World 6-man champions. So lots going on, and we wanted to kind of throw that out there.
Get your names in now.
Yes. I do have one final note to talk about. You guys, anything else?
No, I was just looking at the fact that Summer Camp Girls is coming out on Blu-ray next week, so I'm very excited about that.
Summer Camp Girls?
Yeah, from 1983. Is
that a horror movie?
It is not.
Oh, that's Sleepaway Camp.
No, the overview is if the frustrated parents of these privileged babes thought they were packing them for someone to teach them a lesson, Camp Quinn might not be the best choice. Because the moment the overwhelmed counselors' backs are turned, the lustful young ladies head out for some recreation that definitely doesn't involve gimp raiding. So there you go. Yeah.
Gimp raiding?
I don't know what gimp raiding is.
That's weird.
Aaron, what is that?
I can't go into that right now. My next Tubecast is on the dark web, and I'll get into that a little bit.
Well, speaking of 1980s movies, Friday the 13th marathon's on, and Part 4 is on right now. So
There it is.
The New Beginning, which, by the way, when I was in school, I read that book one year for a book assignment because my teachers didn't care as long as you were reading. I wrote a book report about Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. That's right.
There it is.
Wish I still had that somewhere.
Ooh, Chained Heat.
What?
You never seen the film Chained Heat?
Shannon Tweed?
No.
No. Nope.
It has Linda Blair in it and John Vernon.
Oh, Linda Blair.
Yeah.
Good times. No, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the demise of a league called the Nightmare Dimension.
Oh, that's too bad.
This was a fun league. Seth Brubaker really helmed the hell out of it and put it together. And it was essentially a league full of horror movie bad guys. You know, Catfish Rob had a couple of guys in there, and it just, I'm really not doing it justice, but they're like Buffy the Vampire, Blade the Vampire Hunter, like there was like Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers. You know, I played there for a short time, but to make bad guys, I brought in the Winchesters and Castiel as the team, which is from Supernatural, if you know the show. Anyways, this league was around for a good long time, and it was Bulletin 93 was its final bulletin. It kind of went through some changes. Seth stepped away. It just didn't keep its momentum. And, you know, one of the things about, you know, when a league closes all of a sudden, you usually think to yourself, oh, well, they had like, you know, 10 cards and like, you know, no battle royal entries. It didn't. It had like 34 cards. 34 cards and, you know, a bunch of interleague matches and battle royal entries. But the players all just left and it just fell apart. And it closed. So, you know, it wasn't, if you look at the IWAR report, the IWA report online, they list online all of the leagues by activity. It wasn't even near the bottom. So it's important to make sure that, you know, you stay active and, you know, trash talk and get involved because, you know, some of the other leagues are out there. They need support, you know, and there's lots of good leagues out there. I was really surprised to see this league close. You know, if you actually go to the IWA Bulletins page and look up, you know, the results, it's not there. But if you just type in TND at the end of Bulletins, like erase it and write TND and hit enter, it'll take you to the PDF so you can see it. But I just wanted to kind of acknowledge that league for, you know, being an innovative league. It did really well for a short time, for a few years, and it's too bad to see it go. But yeah, so that's my little nod to the TND.
All right, fantastic. Does anyone in the chat have any questions before we head out for the evening? You know, I'm very angry. I didn't pick up my Castle Grayskull when I wanted to. It's $75, and now the price has jumped up to like $112, and now I'm upset.
Well, is it because it's being shipped in from overseas?
No, I don't know why there's a price like why there's a price jump on it. Like Amazon had it last week for $75. All your retails have it for $75, and then all of a sudden this week it went up to $114.
Wow,
that's a big fucking jump, dude. That's not like it went from $75 to $85. It went up like $30.
Dude, what the hell?
I don't know. I'm upset though. I'm also looking at this website called Movies Unlimited, and they have no, because you can't buy Blu-rays like in stores anymore, right? Thanks, Jeremy. See you next time. Ha ha. That's a good one. You can't really buy DVDs or Blu-rays in stores anymore. Not that I buy them, but it is interesting to see like all these movies getting released on Blu-ray, like 1 Million BC and Spartacus and some of these movies that are, like you don't see them in stores because, you know, there's no DVDs in stores anymore. All right.
What the hell happened?
I don't know. All right, guys. So we are officially out of time. So for Aaron, for Scott, for Matt, I'm Alex G. Have a good night.